Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy. And I don't know if to say it's good to be back to work and back to the grind, or I wish I could go back to vacation mode. So, what was that for?
The dog is licking.
Oh, okay. For a second there, I thought she installed a clapper.
I need you to also light the fan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, we're still kind of setting up here.
Hi, guys. I hope your weekend was fantabulous because mine was amazing.
She had a good time. And, I had a good time as well. I got to tell you, though, I'm not 21 anymore. We're playing 54 holes of golf, 3 different courses in a 36-hour window is probably not the best thing for someone like me. But I found that out after the first 18 holes. You know what I learned about golf? I mean, for those of you who don't play golf, you really do a lot. You do golf, you do gardening. So if you hit the ball in the sand, you get to use the rake, you get to garden. You get to go hunting. So if you hit your ball in the forest, you get to go hunting for your ball. And of course, you get to go like I did on the 17th hole. What I shouldn't have done is I did some mountain climbing. So I hit my ball way up into the, high part of the course with still in bounds. But the competitive side with me, I'm playing golf with my buddy. We're playing a couple bucks a hole. And I'm thinking to myself, I can find that ball and I can hit it. Well, I got up there and I almost killed myself. And I felt it the rest of the time there. I mean, my knees, my back, my hip. Oh, man.
We're just falling apart over here.
So, yeah, note to self, don't pull that stuff anymore. I used to be able to get away with it. I can't do that anymore. Yeah. So those of you are thinking about taking.
At least you didn't go swimming.
Yeah, I almost did.
He probably could have.
Very close to that too. But yeah, so golf is such has such variety to it. You could do more than just golfing when you're out golfing. So anyway, it was just a weird weekend for us, and to the point where even on the way, like, okay, so here we're getting ready to go. Thursday, we had 0 in sales. And that was really strange because it showed that we had an uptick in page views. My impressions looked fine, but just no sales. I had only a couple offers to watchers to send out, which wasn't normal either. And I'm like, okay, well, this sucks. It's almost like eBay knew I was leaving town. And then Friday, we're getting ready to head out, doing our good thing about that is we didn't have a whole lot to ship on Friday. And we got in the car and I'm like, man, what is going on here? We have $88 in sales, and that's what we ended up with. So, I kept, I had some offers to watchers and things like that. And of course, we had listings that I had in drafts that I was launching and stuff the whole way. And Saturday we went out and played golf, and my phone died on me like halfway through the day. And I don't know, my iPhone 14 just doesn't want to take a charge to save its life. And of course, everything and anything was happening on eBay. I mean, it was crazy sales day, trying to deal with customer questions and things like that. And by the time we got home that night, I looked at the phone and I had $1,000 in sales.
Not home.
Well, not back to my friend's house.
He was staying.
Yeah. And so $1,000 in sales from literally $88 in sales in 2 days. Guys, I got to tell you, I've never seen anything like that before. And it tells me something wasn't right. It's almost like, and maybe I'm just throwing this out there because I do a lot of like, what's happening here? In my mind, I'm just trying to, we're I think as resellers, we are private investigators. We're Sherlock Holmes. We're trying to find out who did it. In this case, we're trying to find out, did eBay do it and how did they do it? And I'm wondering if maybe I had normal sales Thursday, maybe Friday, but they just didn't show up under my account until Saturday. I don't know. I mean, just hard to believe. The traffic wasn't any better on Saturday. In fact, it was about the same or less than I had on Thursday with 0 sales. So, Sunday rolls around and that was normalized. It was like a $500-$600 day. So I don't know, guys. Just eBay was really weird this weekend. So overall, it was a decent weekend in sales. I mean, thanks to Saturday, but was it really all on Saturday, even though that's what eBay put it down for. So get back home and we're dealing with some other issues. And I'll tell you that about that here in a second. I want to get some people some time to roll in a little bit. So let's just kind of go over the ground rules like we always do. If you're here with us here today, we want to hear from you. Of course, we love hearing from the same folks, but we love also hearing from people who maybe have been with us for a while, maybe working in the background, maybe tune in to listen in, but never really drop in and say hi. Go into the chat, say hi, or ask a question if you have a question. If you're watching after the fact, couldn't make the live, of course, drop your question in the comments down below. But no matter how you're watching today, hit the like button because it helps get the word out to other resellers that we have a pretty cool little live stream here going and a good reselling.
Cool community.
Yeah, we have a great community. So so this morning, and it's like I was telling you, Saturday, I was on the golf course trying to deal with customer issues. So one guy, I got this, it's a light fixture that you put over your pool table. It has all the different pool balls, I guess you call them, in the light fixture. And it's supposed to have a shade, like 3 shades that go over the light on the bottom. But this was just an open box return, didn't have those shades, and I listed them without the shades. I put in the item condition description. This was not returned with the shades. This is complete except for the fact there's no shades. Of course, you could probably go and buy some yourself to put on here, but I will include a photo. I included like 3 photos where I removed carefully, Photoshopped out the shades because I'm not setting this thing up. It was brand new in the package, except for the fact the shades weren't there. So someone probably bought them and just took the shades out and returned it. So I Photoshopped out the shades. And I think I left one photo in like at the end, and I put a little note. I did leave a photo in here to show you what it would look like if you were to add shades. And so I get an email saying from a buyer, received the package, but they did not come with shades. Let me know when you're going to send the shades. And I was like back and forth with that guy for like 2 holes of golf. I'm like trying to play golf and reply to this guy on my phone and saying there are no shades. There's no shades. The guy just couldn't get it. There's no shades. And I had to give him a screenshot and, copy pasted what I had written in the listing. And finally he went away. So that was kind of cool. Wake up this morning to actually late last night, get a message that I have a chargeback. So somebody bought a, one of those rolling toilet seats. And
yes, it was a toilet seat.
It was a rolling toilet seat. And I get a message from her, when you're selling these toilet seats, you either have new or you have used, okay? And inside the box, everything was packaging. It was like, nobody took this out. Maybe the first person who bought it said, you know what, I'm going to go and have surgery, or this is what a lot of people have it for. And they decide they're not going to use it, so they send it back. So the box is kind of beat up a little bit. So she said, hey, this box is in pretty bad shape. I bought new, not used. And I said, well, the item inside is new, but here's your return label. She even went through the steps of opening a return, and I paid for the return label through eBay. And I said, it is a new item. It's not used. We open everything we get just to see, make sure everything is in the condition we say it's in. And that's how we had it listed. So no word back from her. I expected her to return it back. And, I get a thing from eBay saying that the chargeback has been opened against me. And so apparently she likes the chair enough, to where she wants to keep it, but she wants her money back. Mm-hmm. So, I had to go through that this morning and go through the process of dealing with that chargeback. Now, it turns out this person is not all that far from where my daughter lives. So, in Southern California. So if it comes down to it, she wants to keep the chair and her money, then I know that after doing some reading on this, I can actually go in and do a little small claims action. Now, would I normally do this? Would I just say, forget it? If I didn't have a YouTube channel, 100%, I'll just write it off and move on and not even mess with it. But I thought, this would be maybe a good video to maybe document this experience if I do go through something like this. Let's just see what happens with the chargeback. But if the chargeback comes back in the buyer's favor, I wouldn't mind investing the $100 or whatever it is to file a small claims. Go out there, file it, go back out, and each time I'm visiting family anyway, so it's not like, we're going out there just for this reason. So I'd like to know what you guys think about that. I know most of you would say it's a waste of time, move on. But, a lot of times I do a lot of waste of time things on this channel because I have a channel. Whereas I would 100% not mess with whatever I'm messing with. So it comes off. And I know like Tommy was kind of laughing at me earlier today about I'm always going through stuff. But you know what? I'm always sharing stuff. I'm always open and honest and transparent. And I know that there's probably channels out there that go through similar things, but either A, don't know how to deal with it, don't want to talk about it, and want to keep themselves in a positive light to where, maybe
nothing bad happens to them.
Well, and maybe they don't want to show, maybe that they don't have the experience. Maybe they don't want to show that they don't really know, and they don't discuss it for that reason, right? I think it's easy to have a happy face and look at all the great things are happening here on eBay, but then things go wrong and you yourself don't know how to deal with it. So how are you going to get in front of a camera and act all ignorant, and not know what you're talking about? So generally, I like to share my experiences because I want to learn from you guys. I want to get your opinions. I want to share what I've done already so that maybe if someone is out there that is going through the same thing, they can, look at this and say, maybe I can try that. So what's new about this experience with the chargeback is that they give you 1,000 characters to type in your side of the story before with just one photo. You had to figure out how to make that work with no way to explain your side of the story. And I was able to add 5 photos. And of course, I gave them visual proof through the FedEx screen grab that the item was delivered. I gave, my little background of what was happening and all that stuff. Bottom line is the buyer's trying to circumvent eBay's process to resolve this issue, to keep the item and to get their money back, which is against the credit card process. And the buyer is actually committing fraud in doing that and not following up. See, the chargeback process is really meant for buyers who are having issues with sellers who are non-responsive.
Right.
Okay, so the seller just does the bare minimum, and that's a recourse the buyer has to their credit card company. Okay, that never happened here. Every step of the way, anything she typed to me, I was on a reply within minutes. And so the buyer really can't make a claim as to why she went through this process and didn't follow the process in place here. So we'll see. I'm pretty confident that I'll win. Now, the $20 that you pay eBay if you lose, what I also read is that the credit card companies are the ones that charge the merchant the fee anywhere from $20 up to $100 from what I read online. And so that fee, we're not really paying eBay that fee. We're just covering the cost that eBay is out of pocket on. And that's from an outside eBay source where I learned that. So I don't know, guys, we'll see what happens here. But that was that issue. And then, of course, I think we had another issue with an item that didn't have a couple pieces. So I was able to secure some replacement pieces that were shipping out. Of course, we get home, we have 24 packages to ship out. Actually, I think 28.
I think there was more than that because if you add Posh and you add
That's what I'm
Hot
saying.
Desert,
Yeah, it was up there over 30.
It was the last thing I wanted to deal with when we got home last night, but I did half of it or close to half of it. And finally John comes in the garage and he's like, just come in and go take a shower. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. This time I will, because I was so exhausted. And as you can probably tell, my voice is a little froggy.
And, I got to tell you, I was on Josh Galt's live stream. He has a little live stream program that he puts on YouTube every day, and he's trying to grow his channel and all that. Check him out after we're done here. But he was talking about how he noticed in his sales recently that his impressions have gone down, his page views have gone up, and his sales have improved. And other people were chiming in saying that's kind of what they were seeing. I took a moment to check it out, and that's the pattern I'm seeing. But one thing he didn't mention, and maybe I'm thinking this is what's going on, I've had a huge increase, not only in page views, but an even larger increase in external page views. So what's an external page view? That is where eBay shows your item to potential buyers off of the eBay platform. And we know that mostly as Google Shopping, or if someone does a simple Google search, there's a list of items that match their search, and if your item meets Google standards, that will pop up as an option for the buyer. So now they click on that listing, that immediately takes it to a page view. So you're not getting an internal impression, okay, but you're getting a page view, and now that could lead to more sales, because buyers who are not considering even buying on eBay, just doing a Google search, are able to buy the item they're looking for just by searching it through Google. You get the page view, you get the sale, and I'm thinking that's what's happening. And it tells me that eBay is increasing their budget in really adding more ways. And there's more ways to find eBay stuff, your stuff online than just Google, but I'm just using that as a reference. Maybe you could put down below if you've seen other eBay items showing up in other locations. But it tells me that eBay is spending more money to get your items seen off the platform, which is a good thing. And I believe that it would probably be for those folks who are promoting, who are getting that benefit. Now, that's just a guess of mine, but to me, it wouldn't make sense for them to go through the trouble of spending extra money to show your items to someone off of the eBay platform if you weren't willing to pay them more money for that process. Just kind of sharing you with what I think, how eBay's mindset is, that I think that's kind of what's happening. So want to know, maybe take a moment to check your traffic, and go over each day the little bar that comes up that shows you how much traffic you had, and see if it says anything about your external page views when you're looking at your page views. I'm willing to bet, I'm looking at like 70% increase on some days, and some days like 150% increase in some days on page views. And what was weird is I'm having a huge increase on days that I had hardly any sales, which didn't make any sense for me. But that's we talked about that earlier. So want to see what you guys have to say. Kind of a long intro, but of course we had a lot going on. Yeah, we had a lot going on. So and this is one of those trips.
Tired?
This is one of those trips where you need a break from the break.
Yes.
I didn't want to get out of bed this morning because I felt like I got hit by a truck. Slept well, I think, but it's one of those things where I needed to sleep like 14 hours, I think, to kind of get over it. But that's not me. Brian H is with us here. Hello, John and Jen and everyone. Brian H has got the sale from hitting the like button.
Ooh.
And then Jennifer V says, "Hi, John and Jenna. Does Biscuit Butt really have a YouTube channel? So what is it called?" Exactly. Well, okay. Biscuit Butt does have a YouTube channel, but you have to add another T on biscuit. So there's two T's. So Biscuit Butt. And I'll show you the spelling right here. That's him. So that's how you find the channel. Yeah. What is it called, which we talked about. Also, what's the UPS update? Been shipping FedEx at a significant increase to avoid issues. No word yet on that. I haven't seen any updates on it. It may come down to the last hour where they decide to avoid a work stoppage. But by now, none of you guys should be shipping UPS. Use FedEx or Ground Advantage, maybe Priority Mail, but that can get kind of pricey depending on how big the package is. Avoid UPS right now, because unless they get what is called scabs, for you guys that work in a union have known what's the word scab is, but a scab is a replacement employee that crosses the picket line. So unless they get a scab or a crew of scabs that'll work these jobs while there's a strike, your packages will be stuck in limbo and they will not be delivered, which means your buyer doesn't care. Your buyer wants what they want. Your buyer wants their item, and if they don't get their item, they're going to open an item not received, and you're going to have to deal with giving a buyer a refund for an item that's probably going to end up being delivered. So don't put yourself in that position. Start shipping with the other carriers until this thing is resolved. And, like Tommy will say, it's not going to happen. But, until there's an agreement, something's going to happen. And I don't want, I don't even want to take a 5% chance that my
nobody
stuff's
needs
going
to
to be.
risk something like that. I mean,
No.
we've had so many close calls with going on strike when we worked for Amtrak.
Mhm.
And so you don't want to be caught with the repercussions of the what ifs. The what if they do strike and your packages are just going to be lost in transition, and who knows if the buyer will ever get them.
Yeah, and what's weird is, the FedEx saying how busy they are. My driver said a week ago they're already getting busy, but yet my driver comes to the door 20 minutes before the pickup time, and I'm like, dude, I have a couple more packages. You're not supposed to be here till 2:00, but he waited, so that was cool.
Yeah, he's all, I could go sit in my truck.
Yeah,
we're like, well, oh, okay.
They're not supposed to get to the pickup location until the window starts. For us, it's 2 to 5.
He can't even scan our packages until 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So.
Scream NRC says hello. Thanks for being here. Sandra's in the house. Hello, Sandra. Gail Carlson says hello all. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
That's I don't know if that's a good term. I'm just exhausted.
I'm exhausted. And
I mean, it was just a very fast-paced weekend, and lots of fun was had. However, it just, you have to get on the road. You have to get to where you're going. You have to, okay, John's gonna, go here, I'm gonna go there, and it's just, what are you looking up for?
Oh, nothing.
Oh,
just waiting.
So it's very fast paced, and so then by the time we're ready to come home, we're just dead tired.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Sipping on a Monster all the way here, just trying to stay awake because I was dead tired, but nonetheless, we made it. Mike Camparelli says, hi, John and Jenna and the rest of the FA family. Hope everybody had a great sales weekend.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Thanks for being here today. And Mike also says, so I bit the bullet and promoted my entire store at 5.1%. After 3 days, the sales started rolling in. I'm up to about 25%. Once again, John's advice is clutch. Thank you, sir. Well, awesome. Now, I hope that means 25%. That's after your final value fees. I'm hopeful that kind of means that you're up to 25%.
And not promoting it 25%.
But you know what, though? Here's the thing. Everyone needs to kind of find what that number is. It could be, I like the 0.1. Yeah. And I'm just talking about the 5.1%.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone likes to start at 2%. I mean, most people don't want to come off at 2% because they figure, hey, I'm promoting what eBay wants me to, or at least they tell me I have to do. And they want to save as much money as they can. The fewer fees we give eBay, the better. But I figure when you're promoting, the whole purpose is how do you separate yourself from the competition? So if most of the competition's stuck at 2%, why not go at 2.1? If 3% is your number, why not make it 3.1 so that others that are at 3 are going to be potentially, if everything's equal, you're going to get that little advantage. So that's kind of a good little mindset. I like that trick. Millie Vega says, hello, everyone. Mildred's Decor. I'm a reseller from Texas.
Yay.
Awesome. Well,
thank
thanks, Millie.
For being here.
Thanks for being here. That's awesome. And PTS Treasures is here.
Yay.
Let's see. Scream NRC says, hello, this is Rockin' Yard Sell from eBay. To all my fellow resellers.
Well,
thanks for being here. We have Picky Ricky says, well, I have sold 7 today. I've hit that like button for an 8th sale, that is. Well, that's good.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Callie Deb says, hey, John and Jenna and everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. That Stranger says, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Flippin' Con Marco says, hey, John and Jenna and the rest of the FA fam. Hope everyone had a good weekend. What I noticed was this new Ground Advantage party mail is taking an extra day or two to arrive. Mm-hmm. So that's why.
Have you noticed that yet?
I haven't had any. Well, I haven't had anyone reach out.
We haven't had a chance to even look at anything.
Yeah, I really don't look at, how tracking numbers do unless someone's asking me, hey, where's my package? And then I go in and I look to see. So haven't had anyone complain, but we're not sending more than a couple Ground Advantage packages in a day anyway. So if you're sending a lot more than that, you're going to see problems more than I will. Real quick, the Mikey Bo 2004. Well, thank you for the super chat. Certainly appreciate that. This is hi FAE fam. I learned something new today. I tried to list pool chemicals today. Apparently, you have to be pre-approved to sell them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's certainly something that you got to kind of be careful about. And you know what? You don't really find out until you list
try.
it. Or you try to list it. Because I found that out with sanitizer when after the pandemic, and I tried to sell a bunch of the sanitizer. Archie can share with you his fetish or his sanitizer stock that he can't move. But you can't sell it. And I don't know if you can now, but back then you couldn't. And with pool chemicals, it's so weird because you can sell, like stuff with spray bottles and things that have chemicals in them. So I don't know, maybe you can make meth with those kind of chemicals. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's pool chemicals are so potent.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's about. I won't even
go into a story about when I was little. There was a whole pool chemical debacle.
And here we are today. Sorry. Yeah. Jerry Johnson says, hi, everyone. Thanks for being
Jerry.
Here. Let's see. Mary Knight says, hi there. Thanks for being here, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Ed, the Reselling Writer, says, hey, John and Jenna.
Hey, Art.
Art Betzold.
Hey,
Ed. Larry Todd.
Larry Todd's
Silver Hair
here.
Stacker says, howdy, it's Larry Todd.
We love Larry. He'll always be forever in my heart, Larry.
I'm wondering, there's the live I think you do with Bearded Picker. Why do you, if I think that's you, I think that's the Todd they're talking about, but I've never seen your face on that show. Wonder why. Is it just kind of, you don't want to bother with it? Maybe you're a hand model, like, because all I see is your hands on there, right? So it's just like, what's that about?
He's got great hands.
We got Ping G in the house. Thanks for being here.
Hi,
Jovial
Ping.
Is here with us. Put a little boogie in it. A little boogie in it. There's no boogie here. I'm too tired for boogie. PTS Treasure says, change it to Todd Larry to get John going. Perfectly Blessed says, I never have made it before John and Jenna before.
Well, there's I can't even speak. I can't even think.
Drink some more meal.
There's a first time for everything. That's what I was trying to say.
Henri Squaw says, howdy y'all. Hope you had a great weekend. I mean, it's good as it could be. We made it there. We made it back safely, right? And I think sometimes you got to.
And it was so much cooler there. Oh my gosh. Although I have to say at SoFi Stadium, it was humid AF. Okay. My camera was getting foggy because it was so humid and sticky.
Yeah.
Gross.
So what was cool is Friday we got there a few minutes later than we wanted to. So we went right to my eye doctor appointment. Worked out great. In and out, no problem. Eye doctor, glad to see me, recalling all kinds of things I have going on with my eyes. I don't have to explain that to a new eye doctor, so I'm happy. And go to dinner with my son. He lives out that way. And me and him went to dinner with his family, and then me and him went to go and play some cards. Him and I. This ain't a proper English channel.
No, that's for sure.
So we went and played a little poker and at a Morongo casino out there, and proceeded to get my aces snapped off for about $300 to 6-8 offsuit. And yes, I raised before the flop, but I'm not going to discuss that any further. It was pretty bad. But that was fun. And then, of course, it was just eventful the entire time we're there. But we made it back alive, and that's kind of what counts. Scream NRC says, it won't snot after it boogies. What are you talking about with the boogie?
I don't know.
I'm trying not to skip anything.
I'm trying to think of the beginning of this live, and I don't remember anything about.
Guide Guru says, hey, what's up, guys? Been a fantastic weekend of sales. Kind of dead today, though.
Well, good for a good weekend. However,
it's kind of iffy.
Ours is,
I mean, we still got the rest of the day to go, but yeah, $307 today. So not great, not bad, but I do realize a lot of folks are still getting off of work, and when they get home and get settled in, they'll be buying. So I'm not worried. Let's see. Picky Ricky says, I accidentally bought a fake pair of Adidas trainers on Saturday.
Oh, no.
So now what are you going to do? Because you don't want to resell them. Ed says we should go back to vacation mode.
Oh,
yeah, it's just.
I wish.
But for me, I'm never on vacation mode. I mean, I'm on partial eBay mode, and I'm doing everything else. I mean, you're on the golf course answering customer questions, right? You're trying to figure out, how to resolve a certain situation. I still need to try to resolve another situation, but I don't think eBay's taking calls right now. I've tried to call in to the number that I have, and it's asking me, well, what's your phone number? I never used to do that. And so I give them my phone number, and then ask what I want. It's an automated service. So I basically say seller support. And, well, what's the issue? So I tell them the issue, and it says, well, we have this for you online, and you might want to go to help and contact, and it doesn't give me an option, and it hangs up on me. So I'm like, okay, great. So now eBay's not taking phone calls at all. I don't know. Tommy says, I switched to binding payments today on offers. Now I can't troll Roman anymore and not pay him for items. This is a sad day.
Binding payments.
Now, what is binding payments today on offers? Now, there is a switch in your settings where you can say require the buyer to pay if you accept their offer, right? Or if they take the best offer. But that doesn't work. I've had mine switched on for a while, and I'm still waiting for payments in most cases. So, and I don't know if that's the system delaying the payment. Maybe it's saying that it's going to charge the buyer right away, and you don't get notification until the next day. But it's still, I don't think it's fixed yet. And we have Kurt Keeler says, hello, John and Jenna. Yeah, look at that puppy. Well, thank you for being here, Kurt. Awesome to see you. DreWorks says, made it here again. This weekend into today has been dreadful for sales. Seems on par with last month, though. And, it's surprising because, watching other channels, it almost seems like we've made some progress with the sales side on eBay, where more and more people are reporting that their sales, at least this last week, have improved. And I don't know if, a lot of these people sell, random things. So I don't know what you're selling. I think a lot of it is when you're having that discussion over good sales and bad sales. Bottom line is, it's good to know what you're selling to kind of get a feel for what's going on. Devon says, you are okay. You okay, Jenna? Laugh, laugh, laugh.
Oh, because when we first started, I was kind of choking on my own spit.
Well, that's never good. It's never good to admit that either. Amazon seller 99.
We keep it real around here.
Says,
okay.
Hey guys, hope sales are getting better.
Sales are doing good now. Man, Thursday and Friday, John was about to lose his mind. Okay?
Well, here's the deal. Look, I'm driving. Okay, it's Friday. I'm just trying to think of enjoying my time, but yet I feel like eBay knows I'm going on vacation and they're punishing me. I mean, of course, that's irrational. That's not what's happening, but you kind of feel that way nonetheless. But I have another situation I'm trying to resolve. The situation with the that charging case, that Tesla charging case, where I think I got duped and I shouldn't have done what I did, but I tried to exercise good customer service, and I had another one sitting here, and I basically said to him I'd ship him that with a return label, and he was really cool, responsive, back and forth, seemed like a really good guy. And then the moment I shipped him this case, he was like dead to the world, never replied back to me, never sent anything back. And I called eBay, got a rep, this is last week, and they said, you know what, I'm going to work with this with the back team, and we'll see what we can get done for you here. Like insinuating they're going to just basically some way, somehow. I mean, I had the money from the first sale, so I don't know what they were going to do for me, but she said she was going to call me back. And so, of course, you never hold your breath. But we're talking about the U.S. rep. Of course, she never called me back. No message, nothing. So I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on with this. So I call eBay while we're driving. I had nothing else better to do. It's either call eBay or sing in the car, right?
What are you doing, man?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Pushing me away.
Do one of these.
No, I have to use that.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to use yours.
This is so unprofessional.
I don't give a crap. This is life.
Okay. So William Poland says, I just got approved to sell on Whatnot. eBay may take a back seat. Now, William, I'm curious though. There's two factors that keep me from doing it. One is, of course, I think we have a decent following, so that's not as much of a problem for me. But it's the other factor, and that is getting more than $1 or $2 per item. Now, if you're just trying to blow stuff out, I get it. Maybe trying to downsize your store, get rid of the slower selling stuff. But for me, it's just never been one of those things that I wanted to put into my business model, if that makes sense. Ferret Fan says, hey, I'm a mod. I did not know. Sweet. Thanks.
You sure are. Wrench. You're welcome.
Let's see. Biff Buffo's with us. At least you didn't go swimming. My golf balls did. So,
he didn't go after them.
Guide Guru says, did those display cases mate and multiply? So now, no. What I did was I'm trying to the stuff that I have in the garage. I've moved into here because I'm going to actually go buy another rack and put the rack where these cases were, and I'm going to put my supplies there.
Can they see your mouse moving?
No, they cannot.
Okay. Even when you put it on on the thing?
No, they cannot.
Okay.
But you can.
I can. Okay. It's annoying me.
I know. That's great. But yeah, that's what's happening with these cases. So we're moving. You're going to see more next time in here. But I'd say we're probably down to about less than half of what we.
Yeah, they're definitely selling. I'm really happy to see them dwindle down.
And the Mikey Bows with us says, thanks for the awesome content. Finally joining live today.
Yay.
Thank you again for being here and appreciate that super chat. Let's see. Todd says, Mountain Goat John, save the $2 a-hole.
Mountain Goat John.
Hey, I use golf balls that are worth more than $2, but I probably shouldn't the way I play. I'm off and on. I'm good and bad at the same time.
Well, plus you just got
I got new irons and,
so almost call them sticks.
Yeah, well, people do. AZ Cat Sue says, I call golf, hit a ball and chase it. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. And you're chasing it, but it's hunting. I swear it's hunting. Steve Poste says, hi, everyone. Thanks for being here, Steve. Josh is with us. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. Let's see. Ed, the reselling writer, says, I just saw my impression and it totally tanked on July 17th and is still down.
You're just adding words in people's comments.
Yeah, it totally tanked. And, I can tell you there's a lot of other people that are dealing with lower impressions, but, and I think Josh was talking about it on his live today that he noticed that the international issue where we were seeing international sellers in like the top slots for search, that has apparently been resolved. So I'm thinking there's a lot of different factors that have a lot of changes, and I guess it's positive, right? If your sales are doing better, you're getting more page views. That means that you're getting more customers clicking into your listings. That's always a good thing. Now, do you have a good enough listing to make the sale? That's eBay's job. eBay's job is not to get you a sale. eBay's job is not, they have no control over that. They can control the traffic that you get based on your performance, but only you can put together a listing that's going to grab someone's attention, to get the click and to get the sale. And that's through your photos. I think your top photo you select is probably the best thing you can do when you're listing, that in the title. So, make sure you have those things going on. But I think there's some changes being made right now. Devon says, she says, my sales were dead over the weekend. That's not good. Hopefully they can get back. And we had a couple sales on Posh. So, which is sort of
we only had 2, but that's 2 more than we had, right?
Yeah. And then Scream RC, golf cost me too much. I go with nine clubs, maybe home with 2 or 3 and a half, not in half.
That was his dad. His dad was an angry golfer.
But he never snapped his clubs, though.
Yeah, but he sure did leave in the middle of the game.
Yeah. But I got to tell you, it's one of the most frustrating things you can do. It's a great way to ruin a walk in the park. And there's some beautiful courses that, we're on. But, it can get very expensive, that's for sure. Guide Guru says, had a buyer claim that an Oculus Quest I sent had arrived broken. I asked him to send a picture of the damage, and he hasn't responded in 3 days. And that's your first red flag. If you get someone who's willing to tell you how, something's broken or something's going wrong, and then when you ask them to at least kind of give you an idea or some proof or some help, they're not responsive, they're not willing to do so. That's your first sign that something funny is going on. And wouldn't be surprised at all if they had a broken Oculus Quest that they're trying to do the El Swaparoo on and to send it back to you. Chastity Grant says, my sales are down Thursday and Friday as well, but Saturday sales were amazing. I even opted back into international again on Friday. And I got the banner. I'm sure a lot of you who are opted out, like me, have the banner with I think it's in your overview. It says, well, I guess they give you a different comment every time, but they're trying to tell me about Ground Advantage. But earlier today, they were talking to me in the little banner to switch over to opt in.
They were talking to you.
They're talking to me because I'm the only one looking at the screen. Victor Wawiorka says, hello, everyone. Thanks for being here, Victor. Gravity Goods, Cameron. Hi, John and Jenna. Thanks for being here, Cameron. Henri Squaw says, just picked up some Christmas ornaments and listing them now. Yes. I think in my opinion, I think most people start buying them very soon, like September, October. Gray D says, I appreciate you sharing the graph chart community post of the day because I'm having the same erratic swings. Also, the groups of sales waves are to the same state when eBay turns on. So we're in Nevada. You guys know that. Not sure where you're at. I see UH. What
University of Houston?
Could be. That's a good guess.
That was such a guess.
That's actually a very good guess. But I don't know what that means. But I could tell you that the only reason why I made the post was if I didn't get $1,000 in sales that day, I probably would have just kept my mouth shut and just moved on. If it would have been like $200 or $300 a day.
Yeah, he was freaking out. Like literally, I had to keep him.
Well, how do you go from zero, which okay, something's wrong, to over average, way over averge? I mean, you're talking our third best sales day in the last 6 months, over $1,000. So how do you do that? Something maybe just kind of funky. Maybe the purchases were made on those days and they didn't show up until Saturday. I wouldn't doubt it. Ed says, hit the like button. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate that. You guys, we got 150 people watching right now. And hit that like button. You're going to get a sale in the next 24 hours. Yes. Don't ask me how it works. It's just kind of a karma thing I'm throwing back at you for hitting the like button.
And it can be a sale on eBay,
why not?
Mercari, Depop.
Someone knocking at your door in the middle of the night.
Hey, can I buy that toilet seat?
Maya Koyama says, hello, everyone. My sales are a bit slow this weekend. I expect them to continue to be slow as I was out of town last week. Had to work almost every night when I came back and leaving this weekend. Find a way, though, if you can make it work, to just get some drafts going. Maybe I'd say 4 or 5 a day if you can make that work, and then just launch them every day while you're gone. Even if you have it on vacation mode, I'd still do that. Diane Propson says, I was on vacation for a week, but kept my store open, had a whole $80 net profit for the week before it really tanked, and it just continued. Yeah, you can still get sales while you're gone. I've never used vacation mode because I want to make the sale. So I go in and just change. You guys know I change my handling time, and I go in every day and update my business policies, and it's like a 10-minute process. Cha-ching King, so just buying some of that karma stuff. Well, thank you, Cha-ching King. Check out, he has some good videos. Check out his channel when you after we're done here, of course. But yeah, another good channel. Check him out.
Thank you. That was nice.
Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Thank you for being part of the community. That's so cool.
Scratchy.
Yeah. I mean, you never feel well. I never feel 100% when I come back from vacation.
Well, it doesn't help that I was screaming a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you guys had a lot of fun stuff to deal with, right? When you guys were getting there.
It was a lot. Okay. There were a lot of little bumps in the road, but we made it through. The concert was amazing. And you know, you guys all know I don't drink. I'm almost 9 years sober. But my sisters drink, which is fine. I'm totally okay with that. And I knew I was going to have to drive, you know, from the hotel to the stadium. But I wasn't anticipating the drive back to the hotel. My sister got a little crazy, okay? And I'll just leave it at that. And it got even worse when we got back into the hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I got her in bed, tucked away, and she finally stopped talking. She wouldn't stop talking. I wanted to punch her in her throat.
We don't condone violence on this program.
No, we don't condone violence, but, you know.
Can I do that?
I can do whatever I want to my sister.
Yeah, accept that.
But it was a great time, and I am so happy I got to experience it. It was my niece's first concert, and so that was really a special thing for me and my sisters to experience with her. Morgan Wallen is her absolute favorite artist, and so it was really a good time.
Yeah. Okay, well, Jackie Bleckner's with us. His ground advantage really went up a lot from East Coast to West Coast, around $3 more under 1 pound. Yikes.
Have you noticed that?
I don't do a lot of ground advantage, but normally if it's under a pound, I think it's really never over $7, like $6 and change. So I haven't seen anything any higher than that. We got Roman says toilet seats are very tricky. I tend to only buy used ones. Stay away from the brown lines. Let's see. Devon says, please hit the thumbs up. Hit that like button, guys. Flippin' Con Marco says, to answer Jenna's question from last time on the mystery box, it was mostly household stuff, but they included 4 packs of Uno Barbie movie cards. Listed those and all sold within a day. Made my money back.
I was going to say Barbie's going to sell right now. That's awesome.
You know, it's one of those things where if you are dealing with mystery boxes and the person that's selling the mystery box isn't a reseller, chances are you're probably going to get some good value there. But if that person is a reseller, you know, if they sell just mystery boxes, you might be in good shape. But if they sell other things, then that's probably not a good idea to be buying it from them, because they're probably better off in their mind just trying to sell those items and leaving you with the crap.
Look at Fortune.
Well, he's laying on my return pile. So
he's all.
Someone had mentioned, hey, you should, try to get your animals more involved in your videos. I mean,
they're not really that fun.
It's tough enough to get Jenna motivated to be on a live stream, let alone get my animals. But
no, I don't need this kind of abuse.
We have fun together. Maya says, you think that chargeback would be a slam dunk if you can show in the photo evidence that you provide a return shipping label. But the wasn't that she didn't receive it. It was that it was like a not as described kind of thing. But again, you know,
seeing that you provided a return shipping label.
Right.
Okay.
But again, that's not an issue. The issue is it was not as described. And I think a big thing that people get upset about with chargebacks is that a lot of times these credit card companies make a decision to allow the buyer to keep the item instead of making them return it and give them their money back. And I think what has maybe happened in the past is that people weren't really making the case that the buyer is really the one here that's the problem. Because all the buyer had to do is send it back. They weren't paying for a return label. I paid for that, and all they did was send it back, and they would have their money by now. So it's about the buyer committing, in my opinion, fraud. If you're trying to keep the item and keep your money, then that's not good. Josh says, small claims here is a $90 filing fee. Wouldn't do it. I think eBay would cover you for the chargeback. Yeah, it will involve some dealing with eBay on this. I haven't called them at all yet. You know, it's just one of those things where I went through the process. You get like 2 or 3 days to get back to them with all the information, but I haven't contacted them yet. I'm not freaking out about it. But if I wasn't doing a channel, if I just was a seller, like for 4 years ago when I was just selling without actually doing a YouTube channel, I would actually just say it sucks, but you know what? We're going to fight the chargeback. If we lose, then we just move on. But I think, and this is not in stone, but I think it would be kind of a cool little video to talk about, here's the chargeback I did, and I took her to court, and let's see how that plays out. But I know that there's a filing fee. I know there's a service fee where they serve the person, but you can also ask for your court fees back if they find in your favor too. Let's see. Silver Hair says, send your daughter over to toilet paper their trees.
That's actually a pretty
I don't
cool
want her to
idea.
get in trouble over my situation.
Yeah, I don't want her to get in trouble. She's too old for that.
Kevin Hawthorne says, good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Thanks for being here, Kevin. Gravity Goods, Cameron says, team waste of time, move on. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do say that. And,
that's what I say. But because he has a channel.
Yes, I think a lot of people, it's lost on a lot of people that, because I have a channel, I do tend to talk about things and try to get information on things that I would normally just walk away from and just be done with.
Because you'd be surprised at how many people reach back out to us after watching one of his older videos that pertain to that particular person's situation that they found to be helpful. And had we not made that video, they wouldn't have gotten to win a case or whatever the kind of situation was. Mm-hmm. It goes to show that what we put out on video, or John does, mm-hmm. Really does help other people. And that's our only goal doing this channel.
So Maya says, ask the buyer if your family member can pick up the toilet seat. Heck,
we could send Tommy over there.
Yeah, but what's eBay's stance on going to a buyer's residence? I don't think that would be.
Well, shoot.
I'm not trying to kill my account. Look, the eBay already hates me already. I don't want to give them any reason to say, okay, we're going to shut them down.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the second channel on YouTube that talks about eBay where I don't have an account. So can't do that.
Yeah.
Ferret Fan says, Devon Short, I'm always trying to make Jenna laugh. She reads ahead on the comments. She does.
I do.
And
it annoys
no
the hell
other
out of
channel on YouTube reads ahead on the comments and without sharing with the crowd.
But I do.
I know. And it's just not right.
Sometimes I can't help it.
Tommy says, John is the vet. His buyer is better. Well, I think because they're buying toilet seats, most of them are full of S. But that's just me. Mark Suddick says, hi all, hope everyone has a great sales week.
Hi Mark.
Thanks for being here, Mark. Josh says, I had a $300 chargeback recently and eBay covered me. Seller protections, the buyer filed through their financial institution. Now it depends on how they filed it. If they filed it as not received and you can prove that it was shipped and the tracking shows it was delivered, then they certainly will protect you. But now we get down that slippery slope called item not as described. And now will eBay cover me on something like that? And that's
because we've gone through chargebacks before and we won every one of them, but this one's a different reason.
A year and a half ago, 2 years ago, or whatever it was the last time we've had to deal with the chargeback. So yeah, it sucks. $100 is $100, right? But at the end of the day, I know that I need to focus my energy on what's making the money and not spending a whole lot of time on this issue. So. And I think a year ago, I probably would have spent more time on it because a $100 sale was less common to me than it is today. So I'm getting $100 sales every day. So it's a big number, but it's not as big of a problem. It doesn't sting as bad as it did last year or whenever the last time it happened. Picky Ricky says, my kids never clean the toilet after them. Oh boy, I sit there scrubbing for like 10 minutes.
Mm.
Yeah.
You must have boys.
Yeah, no toilet returns here. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Guide Guru says, you may be able to file a criminal complaint as well as civil. I mean, yeah, if I was one of those people that said, I don't have returns, not providing you a return label, maybe they filed the return with the wrong reason, like didn't fit or something like that, or changed mind, where now eBay's expecting them to buy a label. I can maybe understand someone saying, you know what, this is BS. I'm going to file a chargeback because they're not providing me. Huh?
BS.
Yes, it's BS. And so now they're in a spot where they feel like they shouldn't have to pay for the return label out of pocket. So their only recourse is to file a chargeback. There is no reason why this person should have filed a chargeback unless they're just trying to have their toilet seat and sit on it too.
We're running on lack of sleep, guys.
Rosie says, "Hi, John and Jenna. Hope you guys had a great time on your trip. I can now end and relist without a problem. I'm happy. Take care, you both."
Aw, thank you,
Yes.
Rosie. Yes, we had a fantabulous time.
And I love the end item sell similar. I mean, I guess you could do the relist thing too, but I do the end item sell similar. It works great. Silver hair. Larry Todd says, "That's why kids are called little shits." Mind, fuel, motivation. Bam, just like that. Here I am again. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. We also have Wyatt Nielsen says Karate Kid is the best movie from the 80s. It's up there. Wax on, wax off.
That's all right.
Maya says, "Do buyers get a warning for ban from eBay if they do a chargeback? I know Mercari bans buyers on the first chargeback." No, I mean, eBay, they love their buyers. They
worship them.
I mean, I think it would probably take 10 chargebacks before eBay sees that there's a pattern going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good question. I don't think we're ever going to get the answer to that, but it makes you wonder. Picky Ricky says, "I'm struggling with that. The older I get to be the honest anytime to Lul. I get to be honest anytime." Maybe that's what you're talking about.
LOL.
Lul. The Tommy Bernard podcast is whenever I have a problem buyer, I send them a link to Roman's store. Poor Roman.
Poor Roman gets.
And speaking of Roman, Tommy is safe move. They will not buy from me anyway. Yeah, and check out Roman's channel. He's a great guy. He does lives every so often.
He's funnier than heck, and his
good guy.
Instagram is even better.
Good guy, good heart. You gotta love it. Josh says, "Thanks for the shout out." You bet, no problem. You know what? I gotta tell you, for those of you guys,
I really like Josh.
You know, I had a big boost when I only had a couple thousand subscribers. It was like 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Something like that. It's a long time ago. Maybe it was almost 3 years ago. And I was watching Joe DeMarco from Crazy New York Driver Channel. He's kind of made a little comeback. He was gone for a couple months, but he was kind enough to give me a shout out at the time, and it really helped the channel. So I kind of told myself that, you know, if I come across channels that I think are cool, I like, I will certainly do the same. So definitely go check out Josh's channel. The Thrifty Loon says, "I made it." Well, thank you for making it. I probably made it to your comment like 30 minutes after you made it, but thank you for being here. Yeah,
nearly 45.
I know, I'm trying. Maya says, "I mean that there's no reason a buyer on eBay should have to open a chargeback on a non-responsive seller. They open a 9ad or INR, and yeah, because what's going to happen is if you have a non-responsive seller, then eBay is going to side with them anyway.
Yeah,
they're going to get the item and they're going to get their money back, right? But I just think it's sometimes buyers can be nasty, and they just think that they don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with returning this item. I'm just going to open a chargeback. That's abuse, because the credit card companies they don't ask you to. They require you to work with the merchant before you open the chargeback, and that buyer didn't do that here. The Variety Flipper says, "Hello, everyone. Hope all is well." All is well. And then Tommy says, "Josh Galt, follow him to get rich in 7 days." The Variety Flipper says, "My advertising dashboard graph shows a nosedive. Ridiculous." Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Look, as long as they fix it here very soon. I mean, we're in the time of year where sales tend to get slow with the summer slowdown. I'd rather them work the kinks out now than to come out with some crazy fall winter update and say, by the way, we're going to work on these things in the middle of Q4. Dre Work says, "Everything I sell, I box up as part of listing. Saves time that way, because when the item sells, it just gets pulled from the shelf and a label created." So
most of ours get done that way.
Yeah.
However, there are
sometimes
that are not.
Sometimes. But we try, right? We try.
He adds we to everything, but it's a
we try. Callie Deb says, "I heard that if you promote at 5% or higher, that your listing becomes visible on Google." And that very well may be the case. I don't know if that's a thing. Maybe sometimes these reps will say something to somebody and someone says something to someone else, and that becomes sort of a a thing. But is that really a thing? I mean, it makes sense. The more you promote, the more they should be showing your item to more people, I think. But that's just me. I max out at 10%. So, pretty soon you say 5%, give it a year, it'll be 15%. We'll see. Picky Ricky says, nah, I don't promote and I get external views. Yeah. So those of you who don't promote, check out your traffic. Maybe you're still getting views because you have a unique item. Maybe the competition that you have isn't promoting, or you have the listing that qualifies for Google shipping, the white background and that type of thing. So maybe there's other factors involved there. JP says, who's the veteran? I have the same flag for my dad. That's my dad. This is picture right there. The gloves. My son actually was an honor guard, and he actually did the ceremony for him. And so, the firing of the rifles, the twirling and all that stuff, right, that they do, it's kind of cool. And he, kept it together, and
I was amazed at his performance.
Yeah.
He was a true soldier. Facial expression was just spot on. He didn't shed a tear until it was over.
Yeah, and then they had, that's his gloves he used for the ceremony, and the bullet casings from the salute. So, yeah.
We were just talking about him last night too. Funny that we brought him up today.
I have him. It's crazy because I have him on my my voicemail. Anybody is ever privileged and blessed enough to have their dad on their voicemail? I have that here. Oops, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh.
They give you a call.
See.
Kind of I got something to bring one to your house, but I don't know if anybody's going to be
See,
home.
so I still have a bunch of voicemails that I can listen, and that's awesome, So, thanks for bringing that up. But
as if we're not all over the map today, anyway.
Yeah.
Might as well go there.
Biff says, I canceled all of my promoted listings, but I haven't seen any movement in external views. If you've canceled all your promoted listings, you probably won't. I mean, I'm sure, I think it was Picky Ricky who said that he still has the externals. I don't doubt that you will. Every item is a little more unique than the next. So you may get some looks on those items, but if you're really promoting, you should see a huge increase. I think I'm at on average, it's like 80 or 90%. So we have Marilyn Wilson says, hello from Arkansas. Thanks for being here, Marilyn.
Oh my God, you're going to puppy right there with it. Who knows?
Land Shark Picker says, what's up, Todd? Well, what's up?
What's up, Craig?
Anytime Picker says, hi, Craig. And then, so we know his name is Craig. Tommy says, UPS is shutting down. They are all becoming USPS employees. They might all becoming resellers,
Oh God, don't say that.
They got no job to go to. They're getting some kind of a fund, though. According to the president of the Teamsters, they're going to get a paycheck. It's probably not going to be at what they're normally used to making, but hopefully they have some money set aside. And a lot of these things tend to resolve themselves within 10, 15 minutes anyway. Let's see here. Ed says, the bad part about Grailed, especially for me, who ships mostly 2-pound rates, Grailed always uses UPS for 2-pound and above, and we don't have to choice in it. So are they making concessions for that, or are you going to have to ship during a potential? Right now, they're still taking your shipment, but it could actually be stuck in transit. So Grailed is going to have to take care of you guys for those packages that are stuck. Let's see. Go down here a little bit. Guy Guru says, by the way, the strike, if it happens, will affect us. UPS does over 35% of all shipping. That traffic will flow into other services and cause delays. Right. Mm-hmm. So a lot of out of stock things that the store you're used to buying is not going to be there. Maybe parts, car parts, all the way to if you're into the guns, ammunition, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Tommy says UPS will destroy the whole economy if they strike. Like catastrophic, not a chance. The government lets this happen. IMO. You think so, but we'll see. The Teamsters are asking the government not to step in. So we'll see what happens there. Crystal Poindexter says, but buyers have a choice of how their package is sent. They want it sent by UPS, then what? I don't see this anything different than what we went through with COVID. But even when we went through with the COVID, it sucked and it was problematic. And eBay is going to have to step up, and they're going to have to protect the seller and give more time on some of these shipments, I think. Mary Knight says, I definitely do not ship my bulky items via USPS through Mercari, since it's way higher than UPS. So in the meantime, I'm selecting FedEx till we know something else. Yeah, select FedEx. I just don't know how many packages they're going to give. If you don't have an established account, because I've been told this by my rep, that FedEx will limit the number of packages they're going to accept. So if you're shipping 10 a day, will they accept 10 a day? If you're not shipping, if you're shipping all UPS, will they take that 10 a day from you? I don't know. I can't get that answer. Tommy says, Guide, they will put limits on drop-offs like they did in 97. Post office set limits of 2 to 5 packages per day, depending on account. Ooh, and then Ed says, agree with Tommy. I think it's going to be like the Sonic movie. Make it so horrible, and then last minute change it to an amazing design, and they are heroes, just with the UPS analogy. Never seen that movie, by the way. But yeah, I get it. It's not going to be fun for anyone. I certainly don't want it to happen. It gives us something to talk about. I think sometimes, it gives us, I think most things come to a positive conclusion. Like, I think they say only 5 to 10% of the things we tend to worry about in life ever come to fruition. And I think this is probably going to be one of those things. I'm still thinking it's like 40%, 50% that they strike. So I think it's more likely that they don't, because they tend to figure these things out last minute. Let's see if I can get caught up here. Guide says, I had a barometer pulled a few days ago. Mercury hazard, apparently. First time that's ever happened, and I've sold quite a few. Not anymore, I guess. And that come with a warning, kind of a takedown. That's really strange, because I've heard of others selling that without problems. So, and then Crystal Poindexter says you couldn't even sell Lysol wipes back then.
That is true.
Yeah. Let's see. Henri Squaw says, I tried to sell it Works toilet cleaner and was told no. So now I have a whole bunch and clean toilets. I will probably send them to local auction soon. I haven't done that yet. Bonnie B's in the house. Hi from Gardening Sis. Sales are steady. I do a lot of ending listing and sell similar. I think that has to be part of your routine, at least once a week. I mean, I wouldn't do any more than once a week, really, because it chews up your listings that you have. If you have 200, 300 items in your store, you have 1,000 item store, you have some room to work with, but I don't think you're going to be able to get away with it every week. You're going to end up running into paying for your listings. Variety Flipper says, sounds like someone had one like yours and reported to get yours removed, like with the barometer that was removed. Let's see. Try to get some other ones. Jerry says, question. I tried to add a video from my phone to a listing and it's not working. Any easy suggestions? So what I do is I believe you can only add the video when you're adding it on the desktop. If you're adding it on your app, it's not going to work. So what I do is I have Dropbox anyways. So I just send all my video stuff to the Dropbox, and within seconds, I have it available either on my computer or vice versa. I send videos to my phone that way. And that's what I do. But you got to find a way to get the video from your phone to your computer. That's what you need to do. Let's see. Ferret Fan, my impressions took a 50K per day drop, but page views, externals, promoted, and organics are all up and sales are up. Think something smart changed with impressions last week. Yeah, I think maybe, just maybe the impressions all along were bogus. Maybe they weren't accurate, and maybe now it's fixed. And now what we're seeing is the actual representation of the impressions. and everything else along with it. Maybe our page views are higher than what they've reported. Remember, when they made that change to where it was a rolling 30-day period, a rolling 30-day window for views, a lot of people were like, how in the world does my item sell without views? Now, yeah, we know it can happen, but it was happening. People were reporting that a lot more than made sense. So maybe they just fixed it. Of course, they're not going to tell us this. They're going to tell us there's nothing to see here. Everything's fine. And I'm willing to bet, and let's hope that they finally fix something. It's good if eBay can do that. It actually will be helpful for us to be able to know what our real traffic is. Guy Guru says, I once bought a pair of fake on clouds. They were so fake, they were more like off clouds. Ed says, I don't know if you saw Joe's latest video about the instant payment not working or being delayed. Happened to me. It showed the buyer would pay immediately, but the payment took 5 hours to go through. Yeah, I do know he's been talking about that, and I've seen it myself. But really, I don't take that into consideration. I know that it's broken, so I still accept it, whether or not it says that or not. But maybe there's something in their payment processing that's just not allowing it to go through as if they were checking out with the cart, if that makes sense. Moving Mountains community says, yeah, sales have been way better than last week for sure. Awesome. Hopefully we see an uptick in sales for everyone. Josh says eBay customer service locked him out. I use the merchant number now, but very, very sparingly. Yeah, it wants to ask you 30 questions, and it wants you to add the phone number, and it's like, wow, really? Bell Resell says, hey, flippers, thanks for being here. Larry says, get your ass away from my armrest. You can have it. Ed says, we've seen many more unprofessional and other streams before, guys. Well, oh, I'm sure there's a lot out there. We have Deportes en el Recuerdo says, show up. It's not you, it is us. Yes, yeah. You get that a lot too. Chachinkin says, even with all of its warts, eBay is still the best marketplace for me. And that's why I'm still here. eBay provides the traffic, and it's up to you to convert that traffic into sales, right? And if other sites had more traffic, I would probably be cross-listing from those sites over to eBay, if anything, if at all using eBay. The variety of flippers tried Whatnot a few times, didn't do very good, but I'm not giving the stuff away for $2 to $3. And that's my main problem. I mean, you're just moving stuff in bulk. You're more into the wholesale business if you're selling it like that. Biff says, when I experimented with promoted, of course, impressions surged, but page views didn't. So I couldn't see it, wasn't worth it, didn't think it would be, but wanted to do at least say I tried. But I think the impressions were surging for everyone. And I think based on what I'm seeing, it looks like maybe the numbers are more accurate now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm hopeful that they fixed their issues. Ferret Fan says, man, I wish binding payments was a thing. I mean, it was supposed to be a thing. We were talking that it should be here by now. And Joe DeMarco was saying, look, guys, it ain't happening. I mean, his opinion is that it ain't happening. So what can I say? Josh says, congrats on your 9 years.
Thank you, Josh. October 1st.
So proud of you. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've been sober for 49 years. So insane. So 9 years.
No, you haven't, because occasionally
I have not gotten drunk.
Occasionally he will have a fireball shot.
Right.
Those are his favorite.
Yeah, I will. Eddie Estrada says, just picked up some brand new fire boots for 40 value of 300 and a pair of new accent cat ear headphones at $30 value of $250. And sold my coral boots for $116. Wow, you're racking it up.
Wow, you're racking it up. You
awesome.
Go.
Keep doing that. Mary Knight says, I posted some Barbie Band-Aids I bought for $1 today just for giggles.
Yeah. Yeah, Barbie's going to be a thing while this movie's in theaters.
Right. We're sold out. We have like these Barbie 4-packs. I think we're sold out of these Barbie accessory 4-packs. I think the only ones we have are like the ones that they recently sold in like the Ukraine like 2 years ago. They're not even offered in the United States, but nobody wants them. So I might just sell them in bulk to get rid of them. But yeah, that's a good point. Maybe get your Barbie stuff listed. If you have a death pile, because that movie's out, get your Barbie stuff up. Tommy says, my friend in England has had buyers show up at his door several times. It's kind of wild. I wanted to, when I had a buyer that one of the chargebacks we had a couple years ago was someone had an actual a door lock, the keypad on their door, it's like for your front door. Mm-hmm. I wanted to show up to this guy. He was in Newport Beach, and I wanted to make a road trip out there and knock on the door because he tried to file a charge. Well, he filed a chargeback as item not received. And even though I proved it and I won the case, I still wanted to show up to the house and say, "Hey, what's that? How does that on your door? Did it just magically, did the guy that delivered this package install it for you?" It's a weird thing, but all they're going to do is they're going to contact eBay and they're going to get your account suspended or something stupid like that. And that's not worth it for me. Michael Norton says, I'm watching you guys and posting on eBay. Thank you for the show. Well, thanks for being here. It's awesome. Thank you for checking in. I mean, I'm sure there's many people just like you that are working, hustling, having this on the background. And
working away.
If you have a moment to say hi in the chat, that's cool. I'd appreciate that. Glenda Bavona says, my husband had backups and things, and I found 2 toilet seats still in the box when I cleaned out the shed after he passed.
Oh,
you should list them.
Sorry, Glenda. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
They're good sellers. Let us tell you.
Now, here's the thing. These are safety toilet seats. So there's an element of that. So you get like your senior citizens or your maybe people that just had surgery. They need that kind of support. A general everyday toilet seat may not be so hot. We had one that we sold. It took like forever to sell it. It was new in package.
Yeah, that one, we took that thing to 3 different houses when we moved.
Yeah, we finally sold it, but so I would look at it.
Yeah,
look at the comps on those before you list them. RP Lumpy, is that right? I've sold on eBay for over 20 years.
Plump.
Okay, R Plumpy. I've sold on eBay for over 20 years. As time progresses, it generally gets worse and worse for sellers. It's more difficult because it's known that there's less buyers. Less buyers means you're fighting the existing sellers for fewer sales, right? So you're trying to get your share of the sales that are out there, and there's more competition. Picky Ricky says, shouldn't impressions go down in the summer? You think so, but my hypothesis is I think impressions have been broken since they changed them from, that you're seeing your impressions on an item, your views on an item, your page views and your impressions as a rolling 30-day window. And it used to be for the year you'd see them, and they changed that. I think it was broken ever since that change. And based on what I'm seeing here, hearing from other people, it sounds like maybe they went in there and fixed it, and now what we're seeing is what is accurate. So I'm hopeful that's the case.
Yeah, you know how we haven't seen? No one design, too.
Yeah, where's no one design?
He said his wife extended their vacation, but I swear he wasn't here Friday either. Your wife just wants to, vacation life away.
I don't know. Maybe he's tired of us. Who knows? No. PTS Treasure says, after Tommy talking about search rank, I changed all over a pound to include priority shipping alongside ground advantage. Yeah, I think options are good. People like options, to give them the option of priority versus ground advantage. I'm seeing that ground advantage is taking about a day or 2 longer, at least on eBay's projections when you're running the labels. Here's a question. Do you think that promoted listings is a hindrance for top-rated sellers? I mean, it's a hindrance for everyone in that it's a money grab for eBay. And if you're not willing to play the game and you're a top-rated seller, you're going to get hurt by it. I just think it is now a way that sellers can separate themselves from the pack, the ones that are more willing to promote than others. It sucks. I don't like it. Nobody I've talked to likes it, but it's the reality. It's sort of like it's not going away, guys. There's too much money involved in this. eBay is going to continue to push to have sellers increase their rates artificially, I think. See the video I put out about a week ago called Promoted Lies. It's To me, it's a game to convince and to trick sellers into promoting as high as possible. That's why you need to set a limit. So 10% for me is where it's at. I have enough room in the item between what I buy it for and what I sell it for to give eBay an extra 10% if it means that I'm going to get rid of the item faster. Look, a lot of folks will be like, look, I'd rather hold on to it for 3 weeks longer and sell it eventually. Someone will buy it. Or I can get in here and pay eBay an extra 10%, get it out faster. Yeah, I'm making a few bucks less on the deal, but I'm getting through more. It's a numbers game. I'm getting through more and more items during that 3 week window. I can't speak English today. During that 3 week window than I would if I'm sitting on that item and it eventually sells in 3 to 4 weeks, if that makes sense. So that's kind of my game plan.
You're right, Tommy. We were not here on Friday.
Yes, neither were you. I don't think Tommy was with us on Thursday when we did the live.
Thursday.
You didn't get the memo.
We were here.
Yes.
And neither was No One Designed To.
Let's see. That is seller rating and price matter a lot less. Well, price does you're going to have an element of people who are price sensitive. Thus, an example of that is your lowball offers, right? So there's people looking for deals. They won't buy it unless they can get a deal. I mean, we're talking you're off by $2 between their offer and your best offer, and they say decline. So there's an element of folks that are going to sort their listings by best price plus shipping versus best match. And then if you have a best match, then your price matters a lot. I'm sorry, if you have best price, your item's going to matter a lot, because if you're higher than everyone else, you won't even be on page one. You're relying 100% on having a high best match ranking. So you're fishing for different customers depending on how you're pricing and promoting your items. Ferret Fan says, I got an email last week saying eBay wanted to give a $25 gift card to survey me, and that's why I opted out of international shipping. Here's something kind of interesting. Spoke to a gentleman who sent me an email by the name of Paul. That's all I'll tell you is his first name. And he said that he was offered the chance to do a little survey with eBay. And the first question, and also you're entered into a $500 drawing if you enter into this survey. So it's like, cool. So he decides to do it. First question is, how old are you? What is your age demographic? So he's in his 60s, he put that. And the screen popped up stating that he does not qualify to take this survey.
Wow.
So he reached out to me, and he was kind of bothered by that. I said, you should be. You're being discriminated. Mm-hmm. You are in a protected class. So you have age, race, religion, and sex. Those are the protected classes. Okay. You cannot be discriminated. And okay, fine. They want information from a certain age of buyers. I get it. But don't preclude him from being in the drawing. You can't say you don't qualify to be in this drawing. So he's being discriminated against in that realm. But I thought it was pretty eye-opening that, and he really has a case if he wanted to pursue it because of the drawing element, I think. And I'm not a lawyer, but I've been through a lot of that training in my last career, where we had to learn about the different protected classes and the things you can and can't do, that type of thing. Now, if eBay came and said, hey, do you have hair or are you bald? And he put bald, they could easily say, okay, well, we're only interested in talking to people with hair, and there's no discrimination there because that's not a protected class. The Tommy Bernard podcast says, listing quality report has a list of all items not picked up by Google. eBay promoted has nothing to do with Google that I can tell. But that's just it. It's not written anywhere, and all we can do is give a hypothesis. Why is it that most sellers that promote are having a huge bump in external views? Where are those external views? My guess, because I just don't know, is most of it's going to Google. Maybe there's other avenues that eBay's now advertising your listings on, and that's a good thing. The more places eBay can put your listings for someone to potentially buy it, the better. But I've seen a huge increase in external page views, and that could be a lot of it. R Plump, do you think that promoted listings hurts top-rated sellers? That is, a seller can pay more through promotions and jump all the top of the list. Again, I think it does hurt the top rated seller that doesn't promote. Joe, we're just hearing back from you. Was a little disappointed. I won something a few weeks ago, sent an email, but never received my item that I won. Just saying. Joe, I promise you, we didn't get an email from you. I combed my email high and low. I searched it. I looked in the spam. I did everything. And I was actually going through and deleting emails, and we did not get an email from you. We were searching high and low for you and did not. And we even came out the next live and said, hey, Joe, if you're there, send us. We're going to give you another chance to. And it's possible maybe you typed in the wrong email address or whatever.
Remember,
sorry.
flippin'
Well, too late now for that.
does not have a G.
Yeah, well, but I feel bad, but I mean, if we don't get an email, we certainly aren't going to pass you up.
We tried for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were trying. We didn't just move right on. I promise you that.
Yeah.
So hope you're not too disappointed, because it wasn't something we did intentionally. Ed says, I would have to ship UPS even if a strike happens with Grail, because Grail requires.
Oh, Grail.
But again, it's time to start asking these questions. Maybe call Grail or send them a message saying, what happens here in the unlikelihood that there is a strike? And are you going to have our back? Because that's what eBay screwed up with, I'd say, about 2 years ago around Christmas time, or was it 3 years ago, where they didn't have our back and these items were getting lost and delayed majorly with USPS first class. And it took them literally weeks. And there are some sellers who weren't taken care of, and their metrics were messed up because of it. Ferret Fans is another banner about enrolling in international shipping, said that you can opt to select some listings as eligible if you're trying to avoid item restrictions due to foreign laws. They watch you, John. I'm sure they do, but yeah. I'm the guy that is in the break room with a target on his head, and they give, they
give bonuses based on.
They give you darts to throw in the break room. Maya says, honestly, I hope they strike and get what they want. I'm a nurse and I'm quitting my job. Conditions are so bad. We strike, people think we're evil and neglecting patients. But you can only handle so much. I mean,
we understand why they are. We just know that we have to be prepared for it if it does actually go through and happen. Again, we worked for a company who was union, and we had the threat of strikes every year, every single year. And, we got real close one year, and it was real close. And so I don't blame you for 1 second. I think that you guys work your tails off, saving lives and helping those that, family members or friends or whoever can't help themselves. And I don't blame you. And I that's very courageous to do what you're doing. My cousin is a niece in Minnesota, and my cousin is a nurse.
She's probably a niece.
She is a niece, but she's a nurse in Minnesota, and she quit her job due to the whole COVID thing. Yeah. And so, yes, I completely understand where you're coming from. And we don't blame them at all. They should get everything that they want, in my opinion.
But both sides are gonna come to an agreement. Both sides are it's a give and take. Both sides are gonna give up something they don't want, and they're gonna come to an agreement. But just a matter of when. And hopefully it's before the first and not after. Dino Hunter G says, hi, but I just clicked on your channel. So glad to be here. Well, we're glad that you're here. That must be Dino Hunter.
Dino.
Dino. Well, hooked on phonics. Yeah. But thanks for being here. I appreciate that. John Gaynor says, hi, Jenna and John. While getting dinner ready, I heard John was playing golf and walking up a hill looking for toilet seats. Did I hear that? Must have been. No, I didn't. I did not.
No, he was looking for his balls.
It's funny because I hit a ball up into this mountain, and I used a big log that was out on the side of the mountain as a reference point. I got up halfway up the hill, like 3/4 of the way up this mountain, and I couldn't find a log. It was gone. I think I was hallucinating. So, and then I fell on my butt a couple times on the way down. So I'm sure it would have made great video material, but I didn't feel good on my knees. That's for sure. Let's see if I have anyone else here. see. Devin says, John, that's a good idea. Send videos to Dropbox. But they charge you for that. Joe again. Yeah, hopefully my first answer. We did try to find you. That prize has already been given away. That's the car that Mike had, and we gave it a little time. We gave it some time. We were looking every day on the emails to see if you sent that in, and we even went on the Monday live.
I looked in the spam. I looked in the junk mail.
Yeah.
I looked everywhere, and I kept looking for it for like 2 weeks. And we kept saying
it was a week. We went on Friday and said, hey, we have these folks that haven't got back to us. Can you please get back to us so we can send you your prize? And then Monday we said, look, if you're here, we're going to give you one last chance. If you're with us on that Monday when we gave it away again, if you're here with us, we give it. Someone did actually pop up and say, hey, we have the football case, right? Because that was another person. And so we put the prize away for them. And then unfortunately, someone did win the car. I don't have another car to send you. I apologize. I feel bad, but unfortunately, I could tell you, we did not receive an email.
Yeah,
something happened.
I felt terrible because that was the one Mike was giving out. And because we were going to be forwarding that email to Mike to give him the address.
Let's see. Yeah, Archie confirms that. Thomas says, John is living proof anything can happen if he was able to marry that far up. I don't know what that is at all.
Marry that far up.
I don't know. Maybe it's a side conversation. I don't know. But I don't know if I'm living proof of it.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I can tell you he did marry up. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, let's not go there. But yeah. The Gerch says, I hate all the con artists, lying buyers that seem to be appearing on eBay. I haven't seen any. That doesn't mean that they're not out there, but this is why eBay treats almost all sellers. Buyers. Okay. Well, that's different. Sorry, I read your statement wrong. I hate all the con artists, lying buyers that appearing on eBay. They've been here for years. I've had them for years. These buyers have popped up sporadically. You can see a lot of my videos I put out 2-3 years ago where I'm dealing with another scammer, right? These are people who used to buy on Amazon. They're used to dealing with Amazon and getting away with swapping things out. If you buy liquidation, you see it all the time. You get this great new box, you open it up and it's their old unit, and these buyers have been that way for years, unfortunately. Joshua Mason says, I don't know about that. Heard the movie is trash. It might boost sales for a short time, but what I'm hearing is right. Won't be in the theaters very long.
Yeah, you are
Barbie movie?
Yeah, you are right about that. My when we went to the concert, my sister's husband took my nieces to go see that movie, which alone is shocking, but he said it was the most horrendous movie, the stupidest movie, and my poor 13-year-old nephew had to sit through that, and I felt so bad. But yeah, he said it was absolute trash. So it's definitely for little kids, I guess. I would never watch a movie like that.
This is a good question, Honor Squaw. What is an average sales conversion rate? I don't have that data. I wish it would be nice if eBay would share it. Now they do share sell-through rate. So, what we were talking about, I think on a video I put out here, I think it was over the weekend. Not many people watched it. I think because there's a lot of information there. And in that video, I talked about how people who come on here onto YouTube and say, this is my sales conversion rate. Well, there's a lot of factors they're not factoring in. And as far as the rate that we're talking about, Tommy gave me a link and it's in your Terapeak. I'm trying to find it here, where you go in and it'll show you the sales conversion rate, not the sales conversion rate, but the sell-through rate for each category. And you're seeing pretty decent numbers there. In that, you're seeing a lot of categories anywhere from 3-4% to like 15-16%. And that's a lot larger number than most eBay sellers' sales conversion rate, which for me is like 2.4%. I'm up from 1.6, but I hear that there's some sellers out there that have upwards of 5-6% and even higher. And that's kind of, I think, what you want to strive for, is try to get that sales conversion rate as high as you can. I really believe that eBay promotes stores that have higher rates like that than stores that don't really have a very good rate at all, which means you have a lot of junk in your store that's holding your other good stuff back.
A lot of junk in your trunk.
Let's see. Duncan VR's with us. Says, dang, those late payers on eBay had one pay a week late. Did not want to cancel as it was 20 ephemera items and a good amount of money. These were auctions. Yeah. When it comes to auctions, though, it's like, come on, you're going to waste my time in that I have to now do these auctions again if you're not going to pay. It's a lot different than just relisting the item, because you might get a person buying it that night on a fixed item. But on an auction, you have to go through another 5 days, maybe a week, before the next person pays. It's really a pain in the butt. Let's see. Tommy says, it is written on eBay announcement board post by Jordan Sweetman explaining Google Shopping. Now, it's explaining all the intangibles or just what they want you to know about it. But definitely we'll go and look for that information. We have Renee Kingsbury says, I have a question. Why the USPS can charge you right away on eBay, but UPS waits to charge you weeks later?
It drives me crazy.
FedEx does it too. If FedEx does it too, and getting hit with FedEx charges, $500 here, $400 there, and that's on my dedicated account. And they just, I don't know. I think they adjust the price. They do. They'll advertise it as $18 on eBay, and then eBay will charge you $22. There's like rural fees. There's all kinds of different surcharges that they add in that maybe they just weren't aware of, apparently, before they sold to the label. I don't know. I can't stand it, but it's part of the process. And then if there's any such adjustments with priority mail, of course, you've already paid for your label. That's the good thing about priority mail. The money's taken out of your account if you're buying it from eBay, and you don't have to worry about any surprise, adjustments out of your account with UPS and FedEx labels. But it's just the way they're set up, unfortunately. Thimble Munch says, our post office in Canada strikes all the time. eBay is good at extending times for it.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. That is good to know.
Tommy, you're horrible. John doesn't like people with the first name starting with J, J-O. I'd file a small claims lawsuit. I love people with the names of J, J-O. That's how you spell my name.
Obviously.
Look, anybody who's watched the show knows. And I know, Joe said bye and all that. Mad at me. I mean, what?
It's not there. We don't have an email. Honestly.
Here's the thing. I'll come to my own defense here. Joe, if you feel like I'm dishonest, and I would do that to anyone on this channel, please unsubscribe and find the channel that you like, that you feel is going to give you better information. I try to charge you. I really kind of get irritated when people question my integrity, because in life, that's all we have. Yeah. You don't have anything. You have your family, you have your friends, but at the end of the day, you have your integrity. And that's always been important to me. And I could have easily said, look, we didn't receive an email. We're just going to draw again. We gave an actual week. If you were here with us on that Friday after the drawing and the following Monday, and not just once in a great blue moon, you would have seen that and reached out to us. So I feel bad, but I don't feel bad that in that we didn't do our best effort to try to find you. Yeah. So if you want to get mad at me about that, that's kind of a childish thing, then hey, there's thousands of other channels on this platform. But again, I'm not going to keep rehashing it. Let's see, trying to get back here where I was. I kind of got out of place. Tony Smith, you said in another live that it doesn't matter what the customer selects for shipping. You choose what is cheaper. The customer selects priority mail. You select. No, I'm not. I don't do that. Like I did one today. If, for instance, I'll give you an example. I had one that was ground advantage. Okay. On that, the customer paid for ground advantage. And I was going to do a screenshot. For whatever reason, it was like 50 cents cheaper to do priority mail. So I went priority mail because it gave the buyer the arrival time. Now I don't know if you were referring to, like, if I have it set up for standard shipping and let's say either, and I don't have many free shipping, but if I have, let's say, like on my football cases, I have it for $15 shipping. It's a flat rate. So then I will go even, and I think I have standard shipping on that. Or no, I have ground on that for some reason. I don't know. I have to change that because I don't use ground anymore. I will then, I'm probably spending $20 plus on some labels to the East Coast. So when it comes to that, I'm looking at a rate that's not going to kill me too bad.
Yeah,
but
it's only when it says, okay, so they're offered UPS, FedEx, or
I need to change
USPS.
Yeah.
That we send to what we prefer. Well, okay, so UPS or FedEx. We don't use UPS anymore because we have our thing with FedEx.
I think that's the only time. I think that is where it was one of those hybrid shipping models where I know it's going to cost about $20 to ship, but I'm going to advertise a much lower shipping rate, that type of thing, or when it's the free shipping. But even then, I think I have that. If I'm not mistaken, I had it at UPS, but when I switched over to FedEx, I think I changed it to standard. But nonetheless,
it's not on the ones.
Yeah,
it's not on the ground advantage.
Let's see. Ferret Fan says promoted listing hurts buyers too. Customers see the option that eBay can make the most in fees, not based on seller metrics and professional history. Sellers raise prices on buyers to offset ad rate. They do, and then it depends on now what kind of buyer is looking for your item. Are they price sensitive, sorting it differently in search, or are they using the best match? And I think eBay is counting on most buyers using the best match search process. Sylvia says, hi, John and Jenna. I have a question about eBay. If my clothes don't sell, you think I take down or put the price all to the floor? Like kind of giving away your stuff?
Well, we do lower it. Like with clothes, we'll lower the prices or put a sale on it. Maybe a unique sale where it's like 50% off or, something. But our prices are, what gets me is our prices already are so low that for me, it really frustrates me when we don't sell something and it's already super low. And then John will bring up, well, they probably don't want to buy it because it is too low, thinking that there's something wrong with it. And that's a thought as well. What are you doing?
Listening to you.
You're distracting.
Okay.
Now I know how you feel when I laugh at the comments ahead of time. Anyway, but so yes, I will put like a 50% off, or even up to like a 20% off. If it's something that, I feel if I lower it too low, that's just, it's not fair to the other sellers either. Right. So you don't want to completely just drop your prices so low. It just is ridiculous. So yeah, we lower prices, and then eventually if it doesn't sell, we liquidate it. We will put, we have like a box full of things that don't sell and I'm currently going through Hot Desert Deals, and I'm pulling items because they're just not selling. They've been in the store for years, mind you, some of them. Mm-hmm. And so they need to go to another place.
But I think we should lock those out anyway.
No, I'm not doing it.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out. But I think if you're sitting on a tub full of DVDs, many of them are brand new, and you can just basically put them all up one shot and get rid of them. I'd much rather do that than throw them out for a yard sale. If you can't sell one, why would you want to try to sell 12? Because there's people out there right now that are probably watching the show that think, if I can buy a lot of 40 DVDs for $20, then maybe that's worth it for me to do, even though we know that it's not worth it for us. But there's people out there who maybe want. I don't question why people want to buy stuff. I just know that it's an option, and when you can't sell things individually, a good option or a good strategy is to lot it out. This is what I was doing while Jen was talking. I was opening up a package we just got from Amazon, and this is something I think every reseller should have in their arsenal, is a compressed air duster and vacuum. And this is like $30-40 on Amazon, but it's really handy to have because we used to buy the air compressor cans.
Compressed.
Yeah, the compressed air. And I'm not going to turn it on, but that's kind of what it looks like. And it has little attachments so that you get really down into electronics and stuff.
Well, he had one and it just wasn't.
That thing didn't work half the time. But this
Super
one has all
cheap.
the attachments and stuff in it, and it's worth. So you guys have to invest in your business. If this is not a hobby and it's an actual serious business, you should be doing little things like this and investing in your business because it's designed to kind of make your life that much easier when you're reselling. So that's kind of like my little tip. If you're dealing with anything that could have anything on it that you would normally want to, I mean, we were using like tape. You can make like little generic like tape wrap around your finger, like double-sided, and to use that as like a lint roller. That can get kind of like a pain in the butt. Use something like this that has a brush on it, like a vacuum option as well. These are really, really good tools to have in your arsenal. Ruben is with us today. I hate it when they send an offer just to cancel after you
She
accept.
hadn't come yet.
Okay. I'm not surprised. Our
She probably won't come.
she probably won't
It's
come.
Monday.
She hasn't.
never
Well, she
does.
didn't come on Thursday, Friday either. But I hate it when they send an offer just to cancel after you accept. But here's the problem, Ruben. I had that happen to me over the weekend, and they accepted it. Well, actually, they made an offer. I accepted it 3 hours after they sent the offer. Okay. So that's because they're looking right now to buy an item. They have a need. They're trying to fill it now. So they send you an offer hoping that you are there to, reply. But if they don't hear from you, they're going to go to someone else. And that's probably what happened there. Simple Beautiful says, why would a competitor buy the same item they sell from you on eBay? Because eBay thinks that it's somehow a good buying experience to put items in front of the buyer after they bought the same one. I think it makes sense for them to try to upsell you on accessories. I've said this before, but there's no logical explanation for it. You're just causing buyer confusion, and I don't think it helps anyone.
Okay, hold on. Ed, screenshot it
Well, you may not find it like that.
because it's not a name brand.
No.
There's no brand on it.
I look for reviews on Amazon. I really shop it, but yeah, we just got that. Ed says, John ain't no scammer, one of the honest people I know out here, and I have trust issues.
Yes,
thank
I
you.
will tell you right now, he is the most loyal, honest, and not just because he obviously those are traits that I fell in love with, but he duplicates them in every aspect of his life. His integrity is everything.
Yeah.
To him. And so to question it is
And that's why I think it bothers me so
frustrating.
much
Yeah.
when you see other channels do some shenanigans, right? It really bothers me because people will look at this channel and have those same thoughts in the back of their mind.
Yeah.
And I don't want any of that. I guess I could do something else. I could have a different kind of channel if I wanted to blow smoke. Maybe I could have a golf channel where I tell everyone how I'm that close to being on the PGA Tour when that even possible, right? So I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Nick Picker says, clothes can take a long time to sell. Just be patient and keep listing.
Yeah.
It's a number.
Sometimes for me though, because they do take so long, I don't have the patience for that. I just want things that are going to sell.
Now, N21S, I can tell you I haven't seen anything with the standard envelope. That's because I don't sell trading cards and use the envelope, but I've heard that some people were complaining about that. Sammy Hall says, do you want to swap your weather? It's 12 here. I'm cold. UK.
12?
I love it. Sammy, I'll trade you in a heartbeat because
Oh no.
I can bundle up. I love bundling up. There's nothing like bundling up when you're cold and just that
I would
Love it.
much rather be
Love it.
cold than hot. Hot, you just can't get cooled down. Cold, you can put on layers and blankets and socks and all the things. Yeah, we can swap. You can have our 112 degrees.
I absolutely love this statement right here. Tommy, I had a pair of shoes and couldn't figure out why they hadn't sold. Took them down, redid photos and listing, raised price $30. Sold within a day after sitting for 6 months. I absolutely love that. Don't ask me why that works, but I believe that it does, and that's something that I think I need to do in my stores, is to get in there and to just do something, treat it like a new listing. I don't know. There's something to it, and it's definitely a thing for some reason. Meditation Universe says, question, have you noticed that if you get sales on Friday and ship them out on Saturday, then you do not get sales on Saturday or very minimum sales? But if you don't ship on Saturday, then you get more sales on Saturday.
We've never tried that because we don't ship on Saturdays.
Yeah, I'm not interested in shipping on Saturday.
No.
I kind of look at Saturday as kind of a break from shipping, but I know I still have to get out and work, right?
Right.
So
we still work. It's just not, I don't have to like roll out of bed and into the, near to the coffee machine to the shipping area. I don't have to do that as quick.
Yeah. And that Raymond Mayberry, cool idea. I'm buying one now. Yeah, they're good to have.
Yeah, and hopefully this one lasts longer than the last one because, okay, as I've said it before, and this is not a dog on John, but it kind of is.
Dog on John.
He loses everything.
No, I killed the last one.
He drops
I think I dropped
everything.
it.
Yes, he drops everything. It falls off the tables in the garage and they break and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, the tip of it, he broke off and we can't find it.
No, the thing works without the tip. Well, the thing would work without the tip. It just stopped working.
But now it's
don't even
I
work.
was getting to that.
Okay.
But now it doesn't work. And so that one's gone and this is our new one.
Nick says, I've been wanting to buy one of those too. Let us know how that one works because I was afraid it would be cheapo and not work as well as canned air. No, they work with the tips. They work really well.
Yeah.
And I went to go look for mine because I had a lawnmower that is one of those Greenworks cordless lawnmowers with the battery, and it looked like someone bought it, maybe mowed their lawn once and returned it. Everything was great, except there's some grass underneath it. So I could either take a rag and try to clean it off, which is a pain in the butt, or I could take that canned air and just blast it out of there. And I found it and the thing wouldn't work. So that's why I ordered this. When you need it, you may not need it very often, but when you need it and you have it, it's good to have.
Yeah.
Raymond sold 2 speakers earlier today and they still haven't paid $3,835.
Wow. Well, hopefully they do.
Wow. That's not good. But, at least they're not taking it from you without paying it, right? So at least you can list it again and know you're not out. Just out your time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Flipping God Marco, John and Jenna are honest, as true as North Star, and I'm sure everyone will agree that John was looking and asking for that person to get back in touch. Well, anyone who was with us on the lives after the 20K celebration that Friday and the following Monday when we gave the prizes out, because we were going to give the prizes out on Friday, but we just didn't get to it. So I was talking to Mike, who had the car, that, look, I'm not going to be able to do it till Monday. And we did it the following Monday, and we spoke about it on 2 different lives.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, we don't have to, dwell on it. However, those are recorded videos and they're all up on the channel. It's in there, the information, and
it sucks, but it
does.
It's just like, things happen in life. You can get pissed off about it, let it ruin your day. Think bad things about people because it didn't go your way that time. Or you can just move on, say, hey, you know what? Thanks for trying.
And then coming back and saying that you forwarded the same email that you sent to us. I still didn't get it. You're doing something wrong.
I don't know what it is, but let's move on because next time we're going to have a 50,000. Let's hope that we get that far. 50,000 sub drawing, and it's going to be along the same lines, and we're going to have the same process. And there's always 1 or 2 people, for whatever reason, that just don't, see that they won, or they didn't watch the whole program, or whatever it was. And it happens, and it's nothing personal. So this is the way it is. That's how
we still love you.
They used to say that's how the cow ate the cabbage, right? Tommy Bernard podcast. Raymond just, that's a thing, Jenna. Raymond just tell them you will lower the price to whatever is agreed upon. Double win for you. If they don't buy, someone else will. Yeah. Let's see. Jovial says, my Mr. Integrity on the mic.
That's right.
Right.
That is right.
This is National Integrity Day. I'm calling it.
Just the tip. That is right, John Jones.
Joe says, Tommy says, Joe is filing a chargeback with AOL email. You've got returned mail. So let's see. Flipping Marco, I just read that one, even though I'd read it again over and over again because I think it's kind of cool. Trying to see.
Larry eventually.
NPC Oasis is that's 12 Celsius is 54 degrees. That's wonderful.
Well, still that I would take that
in a heartbeat. I would go
take
play golf in that 54 degree Fahrenheit weather. I love overcast and nippy weather. I love it.
Yes, I will send you our 112.
No, at 50,000 subs, you're going to be Todd at that point. You're going to graduate.
No, you'll graduate to Todd, and maybe we could get you on the channel with just your hands.
Larry will eventually get to 100,000 subs, says Roman.
Larry will, but not Todd.
So guys,
we have to go to USPS.
we do.
We're
And
late.
I'm having a good time. I enjoy you guys so much. You guys don't even know it. I enjoy having these lives. That's why we don't miss when we have to, unless we have to. But and we will be missing some Fridays here coming up. But we will have Thursdays. We'll be announcing it. It's sort of like Tommy didn't get the message, sort of like Joe didn't get the message, and Joe didn't follow up with watching us the next week or whatever. But things happen. Tommy's still here. He didn't get mad. He didn't leave, and so that's cool.
Storm out.
So you know what? We're all like-minded adults trying to figure this whole game of eBay out. Whether you're having chargebacks, whether you haven't had bad buyers, zero sales, great sales. All these things combined are yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent start to your week. And we will talk to each and every one of you very soon. Take care,
Love you
everyone.
guys. Have a good week.